You're welcome back to my channel. So following my video of last week that I talked about the government prioritizing the things that pertain to immigrants and helping them focus more and enjoy their life as an immigrant that have moved abroad, I thought it was important that we talk about some of the mistakes that we make as immigrants when we are searching for a job and the things that we need to focus on. One of the things I mentioned in my last video was that the government prioritizing the experience of immigrants much more than the certificates that they hold. And this is because everybody has come with an experience and the job skills that you need to do the work. And because they have placed more emphasis on your diploma or your certificate beyond your experience, even in the job search, this has caused so many things in immigrants looking for a job. In my last video, I talked about this briefly, where I said the employers should focus more on the skill set that immigrants have brought to the table, much more than the certificates, because the certificate itself is just paper and it won't do the job. So this has made immigrants look further and overestimate the value of their certificates or their diplomas beyond the work experience. So many immigrants now have come into Canada and the first thing they go into is just certifications, going to school, diplomas. And don't get me wrong, going to school is also as important, but when you overemphasize that beyond the experience, you don't even have qualifying experience, but you are going to school, after certification, after diploma, just for you to be able to transit into that work role. That won't give you that experience. But there's so many ways that you can claim experience in the job force. You can do volunteering, you can do freelancing, you can offer your service for free, you can do a lot of things to gain that experience in the job that you want to apply for, and this will also help you a long way. So you need to prioritize what you really want as immigrants when you come into Canada. You're looking for the job that you desire. That is important, and it's also important because the skills are transferable, so you will be able to get jobs, but focus more on that particular job that you feel is important to you, or that career path that you really want to focus on. Don't jump from one career path to the other because one is lucrative, one is pays better, or you feel that this is what is reigning or this is what is in vogue in Canada, for instance, and this will make you begin to hop from one certification to the other. Please, it's important that you focus on a particular one if you have to, but don't prioritize this beyond the experience that you need. And also addressing the companies that you apply to, they need to prioritize these experiences, the soft skills that you brought, the transferable skills that you brought. You are able to apply these skills in the job market, and that is what is most important. So in learning new skills, you need to be proactive. You must have the passion for that role. You must have the passion for that job that you want to do. You must have what it takes. You shouldn't be jumping into jobs because people are jumping into that job or because it is paying more than other professions. So being proactive means learning new skills for one, but also understanding why you are doing that and being able to actualize those skills in the workforce. I'll be able to do the job, because if you have those papers, those certifications, those diplomas, and you can't even do the job because you don't have the experience, of what benefit is that paper? In the job force, your degree is not as important as your experience. So we must get this straight as immigrants. Don't spend so much money. Some immigrants come into Canada and they begin to go into debt, going into student loans because they want to move into a particular field. Canada offers an opportunity for you to move into field. You can actually be an accountant back home and you want to be a nurse here. You can actually be an agriculturist back home and you want to be in the medical field here. It is so easy for you to transfer, but for those particular roles, you have to go back to school. But there are some jobs that you don't need to go back to school. You can learn these skills by going on YouTube. You can learn these skills by doing some courses on Coursera. You can learn these skills even on LinkedIn Learning. You can learn them as easy as that, rather than spend money going back to school to learn over a 1 year or 18 months period, which will drain you by you paying back in student loans. Another mistake that immigrants make, Canada has made immigrants make this mistake, is to focus more on full-time or permanent positions. And I see more immigrants decline part-time jobs or freelance jobs or contract jobs because they feel this gives them a temporary role which they don't want. Most immigrants are looking for full-time jobs or permanent jobs because they want to buy homes quickly. Those are criteria that are important for you to buy homes, and then if you don't have those jobs, you won't be able to. Or if you have a part-time role, you have to be working in that role for about 2 years, and As immigrants, they want to buy homes faster or do big things quicker than expected. But that shouldn't be the focus for you here. You must understand that some companies don't have budget for you as a permanent worker or a full-time worker. They would rather take you in as a freelance, as a temporary worker, or even as a contract staff, because that also helps them to understand how you work. And when they look at soft skill, or when they look at you being a fit for the company, these are ways in which they can determine that. And because they have employed you, they will be able to assess the skills that you bring to the table, because you are a temporary worker, and that translates into a permanent and a full-time job. So don't make the mistake of declining a temporary job, and don't undermine a temporary job. Don't look down on a temporary work. Don't look down on a part-time job. Don't look down on a casual job. You have to take those jobs, because that also gives you work experience. It gives you a foot in the door. It helps you step into those bigger roles. You never know, because those jobs can be turned around into a full-time jobs. When you're applying for roles as a contract worker or as a temporary worker, they put in those descriptions that it is eligible to, that those jobs can transit into a full-time over time. So you can apply for those roles. They give you an 18-month contract, they give you a 6-month contract, or even shorter. If those jobs gives you a leg into the field that you need to get into, please take those jobs. It gives you a foot in the door. 1, you earn more. 2, it gives you a step in the door. 3, it's an opportunity for you to transit into a full-time job. So don't undermine that. And those are some of the mistakes that immigrants make that we need to focus more on. Part-time and temporary jobs is not a license for you not to do big things. In fact, even having a full-time or a permanent job still does not guarantee you employment. So what are we talking about? There's been stories of people losing jobs as full-time employers. So what are we talking about? There's really no guarantee in these things. So please just take the job that you have and begin to build that experience that you desire. Contract jobs and part-time jobs gives you opportunity to gather more skills, and then helps you increase your income multiple times, because you're moving from one company to the other. You're negotiating bigger income when you move from one company to the other. So have you thought about it in that manner? So don't overlook this particular role. It is also for your good to apply for those positions. For so many people that have diverse skills or experiences, like personally, I'm in operations, and you can do diverse roles. You can work in logistics, you can work in supply chain, you can work as a project manager, you can work in human resources. Those are things that I've done in the past. It's important that you customize your resume in these various fields. You cannot afford to have just one resume and say you are a generalist in this field. It doesn't work that way. If you want to apply for a job in supply chain, then you have to customize your resume in that manner. If you are moving into project management, you have to customize your resume. You can't have a one-size-fits-all in a resume, and that is why you are not getting those roles that you are desiring. You must understand that in the job market, there is stiff competition. There are people that have experience even more than you, and they have the customized resume for it. Don't undermine customization of resume. And sometimes I look at it like it makes you feel like a liar, trying to change titles in a way that it fits into what they are looking for. But the experience would tell the story. Your job title in your home country is different from the job title here, and that is why you have to customize it and then build in the skills, put in your experiences, put in your achievements, make it resonate with the recruiter so they understand what you have done, what you have achieved, and why they should think about you as the right fit for the job. You must do these things, and if you put a one-size-fits-all, it would land you into no interviews. Now that we're talking about interviews, some immigrants also make a big mistake when they are preparing for interviews. Some don't even prepare, and you must understand that preparation for anything is important for you to land that job that you're looking for. Generally, interviews come in general, situational, behavioral, and technical. Those are the kind of questions that will pop up in interview questions, and you must be prepared to answer these questions. I see interviews like storytelling. Tell me about yourself. You talk about your experience. You are trying to make them understand or put them in the position where you have worked, so they understand the kind of job you've done, how you've been able to do the job, and what you have achieved in those jobs, what you can transfer into the new new role that you're trying to apply for, you must tell a story. You must make them see you in that role, and that is how you'll be able to be a fit for that role. You must prepare for these interviews. Mock interviews is important. Look at how to prepare for those interviews. You can find mock interviews on YouTube. You can go there to prepare for the interviews that you have upcoming. That will set you apart for other candidates that have not prepared. You can't want to get hired if you have not prepared. And then you must also have interview questions for the interviewer. You must ask them about the company, research the company as well, ask them things about the company, why they are trying to fill the role, did somebody leave, who would you be reporting to, ask about the company, ask about the manager, ask about the team that you're going to be working with, ask questions. You can also take charge of these interviews when you ask questions. Don't wait till the end of the interview before you ask your questions. You can pop in when some things come up, and then you can ask your questions, so that way you are also in charge. It shows how you can communicate. It shows you can even be the one controlling the interview questions by the way you respond or ask questions. So don't be shy to wait till the end of the interview for you to pop up your own questions, and remember to use the STAR method to be able to answer your question. That helps you streamline how you answer questions. These are some of the mistakes I thought I should highlight that immigrants make when they are searching for a job in the workplace. Please focus on these things that I've raised, and if you think there are more, please put in the comment section and let's discuss it. There are still so many more that I can think off my head, like not speaking up even in the workplace, or not even networking enough, where you can have people even refer you in job places. So please put in the comment section and let's talk about these things. And if you have made this kind of mistake, please put a halt to this and learn from this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.